The eyes of Texas are on Seattle as we are talking all about Quinn Ewers today. The Texas Longhorns quarterback has been named a draft sleeper to watch for your Seattle Seahawks by ESPN. We will dive in, discuss Quinn Ewers, and give you his draft profile and talk about the possibility of him ending up with the Hawks here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's show, if you want the Hawks to have a great draft, I know we've been talking so much about free agency the last few days. The draft will be here very soon, folks. I need you to like today's video. Don't jinx it. Do your part. If you want to see Seattle have a great draft, just hit that like button. If we get at least 500 likes on today's video, I promise you, you will be very satisfied with the end results. Just do your part. Hit the like button. We'll get started with today's show. ESPN's Matt Miller has named Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers as a draft sleeper to watch for the Seattle Seahawks. And I know what some of you may be thinking right away. Didn't they just sign Sam Darnold? Why would they need a quarterback? Well, there's a couple of reasons why they could draft Quinn Ewers. Let's hear from Matt Miller of ESPN, who says the following. The Sam Darnold redemption story is great, but there's a chance he doesn't maintain that level of success he had in 2024 now that he doesn't have Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell calling the plays and a great receiver duo supporting him. And given the short term of his contract, 3 years, and a large payout in year one, the Seahawks could still look to add at the position. Okay, maybe not quite as early as the Falcons did last year by taking Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 after signing Kirk Cousins, but the idea is the same. I'd keep an eye on Texas's Quinn Ewers on day 2 when Seattle has 4 total selections. And I'll say this, Matt Miller and his assessment there, he is not wrong at all when it comes to Seattle's situation here of, hey, we got Sam Darnold. We like Sam Darnold, but it's not a guarantee. And at the very least, it's not a bad idea to at least consider a day 2 or day 3 quarterback potentially like Quinn Ewers. Now, me personally, I have probably watched more of Quinn Ewers than anybody watching this program. I saw pretty much every game of his at Texas and the Big 12 and the SEC. I know a thing or two about Quinn Ewers. So I'll say this humbly. The evaluation and the thoughts that you're going to get on Quinn Ewers are going to be as good as you're going to find anywhere else. I know what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to Quinn Ewers. What I've seen from Quinn, former 5-star talent, and all of the hype there was about Quinn Ewers going to Ohio State initially and then going to Texas. When I look at the end of his career, he played in some big games, played in the Big 12 and SEC championship game, played in multiple college football playoff games. He never quite reached his peak. And here's what I mean by that. When he was coming out of high school, 24/7 Sports does a really good job on the recruiting front. They gave him a perfect composite rating of 1,000, which, to give kind of some context for some of you that don't follow college football, they don't do that every day. He was the first quarterback since a guy by the name of Vince Young to get that type of score and rating. So the hype train was real with Quinn Ewers. And so with that being said, he had a very good college career, but he never lived up to the hype that was expected from him. We did not see him as a realistic contender for the Heisman Trophy. We did not see Texas compete for a national title in his time there. And so with that being said, I think it's kind of an incomplete exercise with Quinn Ewers at this point. I think if you bring him in, there's no rush to start him. All right? This is not going to be somebody that you're picking in the first round and we're just counting down the days until Sam Darnold gets benched and you turn things over to Quinn Ewers. In fact, it's not that case at all. Could he replace Sam Darnold someday? Maybe. Certainly possible. But at the very least, he could be a solid backup for you. And I would take him right now over Sam Howell. And you put him in a situation where if something happens with Sam Darnold, he gets a spot start chance. Maybe if there's an injury to Sam Darnold and he steps up, that he holds on to the job, it doesn't change anything with Sam Darnold if you draft Quinn Ewers. Sam is still your guy until he's not, until he flinches and makes a mistake, and Quinn Ewers capitalizes on that. That's the only way this changes. So, with that said, the Seahawks, they've been very hesitant about drafting quarterbacks over the years. We know this. That's no secret. You still roll with Sam as your guy, but you bring in Quinn Ewers, let him learn how the NFL does things, clean up some of the mistakes that he's made in college, and let him grow a little more. Remember, he entered college football at just 17 years old. He graduated high school early. I think there's still some development in his game, and there's reason to believe his best football is in front of him because he hasn't reached that peak, that ceiling just yet. So, here's what I'm going to do on the pinned comment today, folks. If you think the Seahawks should draft Quinn Ewers, I want you to spam hook him in the comments section. Now, if you don't want them to draft Quinn Ewers, spam horns down in the comments section. Which one is it? I caught Tex off guard with that one. He was hoping I was just rolling with the hook 'em on that. Let us know in the comments section which way you lean towards if you want to see Quinn Ewers in Seattle or not. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Seattle Seahawks Today. Who else is bringing you this content when it comes to the draft, free agency, trades, and more? We are all over it here on the channel as we bring you sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, or also bring you live shows twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. We're getting very, very close to 65,000 subscribers on the channel, but I need your help to get there. If you want the best coverage, then you got to be subscribed. Best part about it, 100% free. What are you waiting for? Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV for free. You'll be glad you did. More on Quinn Ewers. Began his career at The Ohio State, but we all knew where he was going to end up. It was only a matter of time. There was an NIL situation where he couldn't get paid the money that he rightfully deserved when he was in high school. So he said, you know what? I'm going to graduate early. I'm going to go to Ohio State. I'm going to go get that bag. And then Texas daddy called, said come home, and he finished his career with the Longhorns. And he was the second-team All-SEC selection this past year, second-team All-Big 12 player in 2023. He was also the Big 12 championship game MVP in 2023 as well. And you look at the stats, he was very consistent in his career. Completion percentage went up from his first season as the starter in 2022 from 58.1% to a very nice 69% in 2023 with 27 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Then his first year in the Southeastern Conference, his touchdown total went up from 27 to 33. His interceptions, however, did go up from 6 to 12, and his completion percentage did go down a little bit. Yardage was about the same with 2 more games played in 2024 with 3,472 yards in 2024 compared to 3,479 in 2023. Kyle Krabs of the 33rd team cannot confirm or deny if he has crabs, said this about Quinn Ewers. Texas Longhorns quarterback Quinn Ewers should be regarded as a developmental quarterback prospect. He boasts noted throwing ability and a live arm, allowing him to make aggressive plays to the far side of the field or down the field is how Kyle Krabs describes him, and I think that's a good way to evaluate the thoughts there on Quinn Ewers on that front. He's spot on about that. So let's take things a little further now and kind of go more in detail on his stats from 2024. We showed you the career stats. Here's a little bit more from 2024. You can see his yards per attempt, 7.8, with those total touchdowns, 33. Did have 5 fumbles in addition to those 12 interceptions this past season as well. The scouting report, this is what's going to get Hawks fans' attention as far as what he's going to bring to the table. He is very confident making throws. He's got a little bit of swagger to him. Pretty decent for a white boy, if you ask me. On top of that, one of the things I like, and I think what Clint Kubiak would like, is he is a point guard style quarterback. He has complete control and command of the offense, which I think says a lot already at his age. that he has the type of control that he does. Functional mobility, I want to talk more about that later. I have a little call to action for Quinn Ewers on that front that I want to discuss here in just a moment. Sharp release, accuracy, there are some concerns there, but I have seen improvement from what he was even a few years ago on that front. Now, we started at the top of this show with ESPN's Matt Miller suggesting this. And I'll say this much. I was listening to Matt Miller on the mothership, on the Worldwide Leader, about a month ago when all this Geno stuff was going on. And even back then, Matt Miller was talking about Quinn Ewers being a potential fit for Seattle. So this is not the first time that Matt Miller is talking about Quinn Ewers to Seattle here. He seems to think there's something going on that links these two together. And he fits Kubiak's scheme as well. Think about this, all right? This offense, one of the changes that we're going to see in Seattle is this team be a run-first football team, be a physical football team, and use that to open up the play-action passing game and put the quarterback in a position to succeed where he's not asked to do a whole lot, but still have command of the offense. Very similar to what Quinn Ewers was doing at Texas under Sark. Texas, they wanted to be physical. They wanted to run the football, but they still had weapons to air it out a bit, and they found good balance there, and I think that's what Quinn could potentially do here in Seattle in that sense. Should the Hawks draft a quarterback, whether it's Quinn Ewers or somebody else out there, you got two options here. Type Y for yes, in for no, weigh in. Let us know in the comments section if they should draft a QB or not. We got free shipping on Cooper Kupp jerseys available right now at chatsports.com/cup. He's going to wear the number 10. He bought that jersey, so you need to buy that jersey too, my friends. And we have other Seahawks merchandise at that link available for you as well. Go see for yourself right now. Chatsports.com/cup to get yours today. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/cup to get yours. You'll be glad you did. I think when it comes to Quinn Ewers, when I look at these other quarterbacks that are available when you talk day 2 and day 3, if I had to point to one that I said, okay, can he take that next step? Is there a point where he could eventually be that guy where maybe we haven't all seen it yet, but he can still grow into it? Kind of like in the NBA, a lot of it is drafting for potential. Quinn Ewers would be that guy where that ceiling is there. I think he can be a franchise quarterback if he could clean up the accuracy a bit, if he can stay healthy, if he can become a better runner. There's some little things there, but for the most part, I think you can work with what you have to start with Quinn Ewers and develop him. He's a great leader as well. You're not going to hear a negative thing about Quinn Ewers in that department. And I give him credit for dealing with the Arch Manning circus. Look, that couldn't have been easy to deal with. For 2 years, Quinn Ewers had Arch Manning, a Manning, might I add you, another 5-star quarterback that everybody loved and everybody was talking about. And he didn't lose the job. In fact, it never even got to a point of a competition. And believe me, there was plenty of pressure on Texas to turn things over to Arch Manning for Sark to make that change. But Quinn proved himself time and time again that he was still the right guy for that moment. He needs to be more mobile. He had some injuries early in his career that kind of affected his mobility. I still think he can be a good runner, but I think he kind of got the yips a little bit from the injuries where he didn't want to be as aggressive in running the football. I would like to see more of that come out of Quinn Ewers, especially just throwing on the run. Like, I think about that, the infamous 18-yard down they had. It was like 3rd and 18 or 4th and 18 against Arizona State, and where he was thrown on the run and had the game winner. Like, why do I have to wait till that moment to get that? I think that was a point of frustration for Texas fans. Like, why can't we see those type of plays all the time? It was great that it happened in the moment, but don't be afraid to take some more chances and show off a little bit. The injuries are a little concerning, especially at this young of age. But I make him my backup. That's not the end of the world, and especially if it's day 3. It's worth the shot, I think, day 3, if that's the case. I still think it's potentially worth a shot day 2, but definitely day 3 if he's there. I'll take Quinn Ewers. I'll have him on my team. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video. If you want to have a great draft, you already know what to do. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.